Hello and welcome to the first ever Healthy in the 2020s podcast with your hosts,
Josiah,
Owen,
and Peyton. In this podcast, we will be talking about how the pandemic has been affecting sports in the 2020s.
our guest
is Declan Levy, who is a weekend sports anchor for WOCW News. The first question we had was,
do you think the shortened season impacted high school sports and standings?
And our answer was, the shortened seasons absolutely impacted high school standings and rankings. We saw some teams gearing up for a playoff run and another go at the state title, but games continuously being canceled hurt their chances. This was a major headache for athletic directors who did their best to reschedule games and give their teams the best chance to play as many games as possible. I think that because there is so much uncertainty around each game and each practice, the teams were not as focused on wins and losses, but just thankful to be on the field.
We also asked some kids at our school. 23 people said yes, sports definitely affected, and 17 said no, sports were not affected by COVID. Second question, do you think that high school athletes should wear masks while competing and practicing?
our answer was, it is very strange to see wrestlers and basketball players wearing masks while competing, and it has been interesting to see how each school is handling the COVID protocols. That means limiting fans in attendance, sanitizing stations wherever, and of course, making sure everyone is wearing masks. Wearing masks while competing is no fun and could maybe even get in the way of some could complain. But it gives these athletes a chance to compete. I don't see how anyone could complain. It is proven that mask wearing works to prevent the spread of virus, so I believe it is a necessary step for coaches and athletes to take while playing sports during the worldwide pandemic.
Question number 3. Do you think COVID-19 affected high school sports positively or negatively?
And our answer was, I think that COVID-19 is impacting players a lot more negatively than positively. Sure, there are some positives. These young athletes are learning the hard way. They're learning how to persevere through challenging times and learning how to still put in the work while there are things in the way. I think the virus is making us stronger as we learn to adapt. However, the negative impacts outweigh the positives. First, it breaks my heart to see all the senior athletes that missed out on their final season. Each high school athlete dreams of being a senior, getting a lot of playing time, having their senior night, etc. So many kids missed out on a truly memorable time in their high school careers. While teams were not practicing, it made it increasingly hard for athletes to further their game and get better. Coaching is an incredibly vital role at high school level as athletes are developing, so while everything was shut down, players were definitely missing out on key instruction time. And all in all, they are endless ways that this pandemic has impacted literally every person on the planet. But just like everything else, we will adapt, evolve, learn, and get better. I have high hopes and a positive outlook on the future, not just for high school sports, but our country and our world.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Shortened seasons have a big impact on sports rankings. Math sucks except for the fact that they keep us safe, and COVID has been having a much more negative than positive impact on sports. This has been Healthy in the 2020s podcast by Josiah, Owen, and Peyton. Make sure that you like and subscribe. If we get to 50 likes, we will make another episode.